North of the Blackwater, the Riverlands were ruled by the bloody hand of Harren the Black of House Hor, king of the Isles and the Rivers. Harren's iron-born grandsire, Harwin Hardhand, had taken the trident from Argilax's grandsire, Erek, whose own forebears had thrown down the last of the River Kings centuries earlier. Harren's father had extended his domains east to Duskendale and Rossby. Harren himself had devoted most of his long reign, close on 40 years, to building a gigantic castle beside the God's Eye. But with Harrenhal at last nearing completion, the Ironborn would soon be free to seek fresh conquests. No king in Westeros was more feared than Black Harren, whose cruelty had become legendary all through the Seven Kingdoms. And no king in Westeros felt more threatened than Argilac the Storm King, last of the Durrandon, an aging warrior whose only heir was his maiden daughter. Thus it was that King Argilac reached out to the Targaryens on Dragonstone, offering Lord Aegon his daughter in marriage, with all the lands east of the God's Eye from the Trident to the Blackwater Rush as her dowry. Aegon Targaryen spurned the Storm King's proposal. He had 2 wives, he pointed out. He did not need a third. And the dower lands being offered had belonged to Harrenhal for more than a generation. They were not Argilac to give. Plainly, the aging Storm King meant to establish the Targaryens along the Blackwater as a buffer between his own lands and those of Harren the Black. The Lord of Dragonstone countered with an offer of his own. He would take the dower lands being offered if Argilac would also cede Massey's Hook and the woods and plains from the Blackwater south to the river Wendwater and the headwaters of the Mander. The pact would be sealed by the marriage of Argilac's daughter to Orys Baratheon, Lord Aegon's childhood friend and champion. These terms Argilac the Arrogant rejected angrily. Orys Baratheon was a base-born half-brother to Lord Aegon. It was whispered, and the Storm King would not dishonor his daughter by giving her hand to a bastard. The very suggestion enraged him. Argilac had the hands of Aegon's envoy cut off and returned to him in a box. "These are the only hands your bastard shall have of me," he wrote. Aegon made no reply. Instead, he summoned his friends, bannermen, and principal allies to attend him on Dragonstone. Their numbers were small. The Valyrians of Driftmark were sworn to House Targaryen, as were the Celtigers of Claw Isle. From Massey's Hook came Lord Bar Emmon of Sharp Point and Lord Massey of Stonedance, both sworn to Storm's End, but with closer ties to Dragonstone. Lord Aegon and his sisters took counsel with them, and visited the castle Sept to pray to the Seven of Westeros as well, though he had never before been accounted a pious man. On the 7th day, a cloud of ravens burst from the towers of Dragonstone to bring Lord Aegon's word to the 7 kingdoms of Westeros. To the 7 kings they flew, to the citadel of Oldtown, to lords both great and small. All carried the same message. From this day forth there would be but one king in Westeros. Those who bent the knee to Aegon of House Targaryen would keep their lands and titles. Those who took up arms against him would be thrown down, humbled, and destroyed.